Alright, what's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of Rapid Fire News. And in this week's episode, I will be talking about Sasha Banks and Naomi walking out of WWE Raw, and basically what was supposed to be dealing with a six-pack challenge and number one contenders match to see who will face Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell for the Raw Women's title. Ended up actually being with the match change out of nowhere and being able to deal with a singles match and actually having Asuka and as well Becky Lynch go at it. So being able to talk about that for this week's episode and just dealing with that, and I was really actually looking forward into seeing that six-pack challenge. I know Naomi was supposed to be a part of that, most likely win it and actually be able to face Bianca Belair, and that would have been actually really cool to see. We didn't have to have the tag team be split up or anything like that. They could have just went back to dealing with the tag team division. I feel like that would have been just as fine, so they didn't really have to split up. They could have been able to do their own thing while still being in the tag team, so that every tag team that wants to actually go for a singles one does have to split up. That's just my opinion on that, how I feel. So, with that, we did ended up having Asuka actually beat Becky Lynch and now looking to face Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell for the Women's title. So that in itself should actually be really cool to see, and I'm sure Becky Lynch will actually try and get a way into the match and make it a triple threat match. I can see that happening too as well. But in terms of the women's tag team division and everything, so that gets into my question: do you think it should actually be scrapped with the women's tag team titles? What do you think should be happening in terms of that situation? Because the women's tag team division alone doesn't really have that many teams as of right now, especially since we actually had the actual debut for the women's tag team titles, even though there were a few teams, but after a while things went their separate ways and everything. Tag teams ended up getting split up, especially when the Iconics were around, which they should have never done that. In my own honest opinion, again, they should have been still a team, but still do other stuff and then just come back together and do the tag team thing as well on top of that. So we'll see where things are going to be actually going. So I feel like they should actually keep the women's tag team titles. We don't really need the NXT women's tag team titles. They're not really doing too much with that either, which they should be and everything. So I feel like they should just focus on just the main ones that they got, and they can also go like they are right now for Raw and SmackDown, or as well for both NXTs, and actually have more women's tag team, since they have a lot of women on the roster. So I'm sure they can actually work around and deal with teams that don't have to actually be split up. They can actually last a good while and actually deal with, separate things too for the singles runs and everything. So I feel like there just has to be like things like switched around a little bit and then have things worked out hopefully in that way. I feel like hopefully I will see what happens with that, and we'll see where things go. But Sasha Banks and Naomi definitely deserve a lot more. I can actually come to an understanding of how they're feeling and everything, while being able to have to do more for the women's tag team division and everything. And I know we were able to see them be on the line at WrestleMania, which is cool, but not nearly as enough as they should be. They should be on at least most of the premium events, if not, every one that they can. Um, Instead of actually having to be on the line on Raw or SmackDown and everything, which is fine every once in a while, but I feel like they should be on premium live events and being able to be showcased more, have more feuds and everything added to it and everything, more storylines basically, and be able to keep that excitement going for the women's tag team title division. So hopefully uh, we'll see things come with a change. But with Sasha Banks and Naomi, if they'll stay or not, I'm sure they will thrive definitely for sure, whether they go outside of WWE and they were able to do a lot more cool stuff, definitely for sure. So I will definitely, of course, I support them still and still be able to follow them no matter where they go, and just hoping things will get situated and everything with all the wild and craziness that actually did get to transpire. So it just threw me off guard. I wasn't expecting it like a lot of us were. So I just basically came out of nowhere, and it was unexpected that all this had to happen this way, and it just seems crazy. So hopefully things will get better, definitely for sure on that, since I really like them as a tag team. Basically in the way of a reunion, minus Tamina on this one. So maybe even at the latest we'll get to see both of them, if not one of them eventually dealing with the bloodline. I would like to see them both in the bloodline. That would have been cool. I feel like Naomi should have been there a long time ago, and they were able to, I'm sure, do cool stuff with them. That would have been really awesome to see, and still be in a tag team and be able to deal with a lot of tag teams and actually feud with them and have cool matches. That would have been also cool to see, and could still maybe happen that way. I don't know, but that's just something I would have liked to have seen. So anyway, those are my thoughts. What are your own thoughts? Leave it in the comment section down below, and then we'll continue the discussion as well. After the video is up, so be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and as well hit the notification bell, because it helps grow the channel and as well with the YouTube algorithm, and to be able to have my videos out there. So I appreciate the support as always. So hopefully you enjoy the rest of your week and as well the rest of your day. And I will be back most likely, definitely, for my AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view review. So be on the lookout for that. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See ya.